It's the final few seconds before the lights go out and the race to the podium begins. You know this battle will be won off the track as well as on it. You've studied your tactics, anticipated every move like a grandmaster. You've researched and analyzed, modified and fine-tuned to perfection. You have honed your instincts to give you an edge over your rivals. Your drivers focused, your team ready. The championship in the balance. First past the checkered flag, the goal. Epic victory or ultimate failure. There is only a heartbeat between them. Motorsport manager, take control.
All right. Hello. Hello. I'm back, I guess. So let's get this game going. One thing I should say straight away, no music this time because I got a copyright claim on YouTube. And I'm pretty sure it's not even for the song that was playing. But
it's the final few seconds
I'm not going to risk
the
it,
lights go out,
basically.
and
So that's why we're going to continue with no music. Racing time, I see. Well, at least driving and looking at the back of other cars, yeah. Does that count as racing? I suppose. To be honest as well, I can't really remember where we left off last time. But yes, I did say that this would be the Tuesday game for a little while, and that's what we're going to do for a little while, like I said. So let's have a look at our racing team. I know that we did 3 races actually, and we just picked up a Spanish engineer. I remember that much. But yes, there was a copyright claim on YouTube, and it's currently actually, in the background, it's currently actually fixing that so that it doesn't play the music during the part. I don't know how that works on YouTube, but they say they can fix it, so I let them attempt to fix it. But yes, I've turned the music off as a result, because if you're going to play silly buggers with me, then I'm not going to play back. It was literally only for like 30 seconds, and like I said, I'm pretty sure the song that claimed the copyright wasn't even the song that was playing, but I just don't want to mess with that, to be honest. So music is off. Is off. Last time I didn't really give enough time to have a look at the car properly, so can you actually spin it quicker? You can. I'm just going to let it do its little thing where, oh, there we go, where it does the spin around, so you can have a look at it if you want to. I'm actually quite happy with the color combination in the end. The red and pink kind of works. Kind of being the keyword there. Well, keyword combination, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's our car. Right, what are we currently working on actually? We're currently working on the brakes, which is, you know, usually a good idea. Good brakes are good, and we're working on especially getting that engine up, but also improving set brakes as well. I may actually stop this so we're only working on the engine, or I may split it again so we're 5 and 5. How many days we got left? 15 days. Yeah, let's try and get this engine up so we can actually use it. We'll have to really leave it until the last moment to see if using it is a realistic option, but we will do just that. I changed my mind about the car. Originally I was going to take the majority of money for the car, but to be honest, I'm going to deal with a crappy car for a couple of seasons and focus instead on, first of all, building up a bankroll so we can actually spend money on improvements, and also, more importantly, building our base, because even if I do spend the 15 million or whatever it is at the end of the season, well, it'd be 10 million, but I mean 15 million is basically the price of a good car. I'll still have the really shitty parts, so it's more important that I build up the parts when I think about it, and also get the HQ running more smoothly. So we're going to set the budget back down to 0. Sorry, 500, not 0. 0 is too low, but back down to 300, which means that we can actually afford to design a second engine, and that's what we're going to do right now. Now we want top speed, and we want top speed 65. Remember that I mentioned that the other cars are in the late 200s, so 65, it's considerably better than our current engine, but it's still much slower than the rest of the field, so it is worth keeping that in mind. And what else do we need to do? We don't need to fit parts. We don't really need to look at the HQ yet, but I will think about it because we're only losing 700 a race now. But for now, no. So I do still want to replace. I still do want to replace the lead designer and the other race mechanic though. So I may actually approach that Russian guy who I was afraid of approaching. The reason why I don't want to approach him is because he's going to be expensive, but I think the payment might be worth it. So yeah, you can design a solid engine. He's pretty crap with the rest of the stuff. He's okay with brakes and suspension. He's good at rear wing, but we can't make that at the moment. He's also good at the gearbox, but let's see how much he wants. So I prefer a long contract. Yeah, me too. So let's go for the full whack, and let's start you off at. Let's start you off at 100 actually, or 90. We'll start you off at 90. I'd like a nice signing on fee. Of course you would. Yeah, there you go. That's a nice signing on fee. Bonus size is important, is it now? So if we win a race, which we never will, I will give you your full payment. How's that as a bonus? So I don't know. We'll try that and we'll see if he's interested. Not very likely, but you never know. You never know. And he's going to be considerably better than the designer that we currently have, because the designer that we currently have is, well, not even worth thinking about, really. And how are you, Shores? How was your day? Has it been good? Are you well? Is everything good? You seem to never be in class, which is very, very intriguing to me. But I got a couple other students that are. You're not a student, I know, but I got a couple of students who are in the same kind of boat. They're in university as well, but they very rarely actually find themselves in class or doing work. It's been a very lazy day. Well, that's fine. Usually I'm teaching now, but my student who I usually teach now is currently preparing to work in a different country, so they have to deal with a number of document stuff and bureaucratic rubbish, basically. So that's a shame. So no, that's not a shame. The fact that he rejected the contract is a shame. So I'm free, and I managed to start a bit earlier. I currently have no classes, only project work, which mostly has already been done. Alright, class start again in February. I suppose that makes sense. Alright, how much do we want to dedicate to him? I think we'll go 150, that's the max. Okay, well, we'll offer him the max, why not? And I suppose I could afford to pay him something like 400. If he doesn't take that, then I'm not even kinda interested in working with him. Even 150 is affordable though, to be fair. Provide a brief report on the next race in the calendar. Okay. Yeah, we're not affording that at the moment, and interesting. It's a nice way of saying, fuck you. Let's try again. But interesting is much more polite, so fair enough. Not very Russian, but much more polite. I suppose we're willing to give him more money as well because he's Russian, and the Russian economy sucks. So, you know, if somebody can afford to give you lots of money, then why not? Well, corruption and stuff is one good reason why not, I guess, but aside from corruption, you know, why not give somebody lots of money? I also turned off the autosave because I think the autosave was causing problems and making the game a little bit slower than it needed to be. So I turned that off as well. So Iris is a nice driver. We will keep her in the back pocket, though not likely to actually take her on, and he's happy with that. Well, there we go then. So before it was 1,000 per race, now it's 150 per race. And we also spent 400 on him, but he's going to be able to design much better things. I probably should have designed the engines after I hired him, but never mind. Evening, Upsy-Dups. How are you? Haven't seen you in a while, actually. Are you well? I hope you're well. We did that, we did that, we did that. New lead designer. Okay. So the good times are on the way. Not yet, they're not, but we're one step closer with that good designer that we picked up. Yeah, I really should have picked the engines up after I hired him, but I decided I wasn't going to hire him last time, which was silly. 3 days of a dodgy neck. I mean, the race itself is in 3 days, so you should be okay. Sponsors, we'll still take the 13th because we're not getting anything better than that. And how did that engine look in the end? We want to put it in Mr. Gomez's car. 62, yeah, we'll risk it. Actually, the engine's worse at the moment. We won't risk it. We need to make it better. It's got a much better long term improvability, but short term it's not as good as the engine we're currently using. So we'll stick with this. I'm grand. Had my first day in my internship today, and it went bloody well. Congratulations. Yeah, I remember you talking about the internship, and good. I'm glad that you started and you had a good day out of it. I hope it goes well for you, and you managed to follow it through. So we move on to Tondela, the map that looks like a fetus, at least in the artwork. It looks like a completely fucked up fetus, but it looks like a fetus a little bit. And this is also a pretty fast map, so it's not really good for our team, to be fair. Well, this is a particular version that looks like a really screwed up fetus. When the whole thing is out there, it looks a bit more like a fetus. Whatever, I'm going to stop talking now. Well, about the fetus anyway. I'm going to keep talking, I guess. So, it's kind of weird to know music. It's feeling very, very uninspiring, but like I said, I don't want to take the risk, so I'm not going to. We'll load up the Tondela B setup. We may have to fix this one a bit because I don't think it's correct, and we're going to stick mostly with the slightly longer life tires, I think. And same again. Tondela B, load. So DRP, was the internship everything that you hoped for, or was it a bit shocking, or I don't know? You said it was good, which is good, but hopefully it was at least roughly what you were expecting. We'll go for a full 9 laps. Yes, that's good. And we'll go for a full 9 laps. And we'll speed up practice, because we usually do. And we'll actually get them going as quickly as possible, because it's just about making sure the car has a good setup, nothing else. I think on the race day itself there's no music, so there's that at least. So stiffen up. I saw that. Loving the handling. It's good. Aero's feeling great. Good. Downforce feels bang on. Okay. So the aero's great for him as well. Gear ratios are just right. So it's just stiffening up the suspension. Yeah, okay, let's stiffen up your suspension then. Gomez hasn't mentioned the suspension being a problem, so we won't worry about his car right now. So what, you want like 75? Or 69? Let's go 75. Let's really jack it up. And then you can have 6 laps because you're not going to need the full 9 probably. And go, go, go. And then I can check the 2 settings together and see which one was better for the handling. We can also stiffen Gomez's suspension if necessary, if he's not overly happy with the handling as well. Go, make up your mind. You wanted it stiff? No, you don't want it stiff. Alright then. Well, we'll turn it back to where it was. Hey, you asked for it to be stiffer. You're the idiot. So, okay. Here's your lesson of the day. Don't always listen to your drivers, especially if they don't know what the hell they're talking about. The perfect example in this game actually is when they start screaming at you for intermediates and wets and non-wets. Generally speaking, they tell you at the wrong time, which, you know, can be very annoying. Alright, so we're not going to waste time doing it in setup, we're going to do it before the race. But let's stick his handling back to the way it was. So, there's something about the name AJDS Demons. It has a beautiful ring to it. Not really. Pretty lame practice session for us too. That's great. We're fine with pretty lame practice sessions. We don't need to do anything amazing as this team. We just need to survive and build over a series of seasons. Like 5 years, something like that. In 5 years we'll be competitive. Maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit less than 5 years to be fair, but still. So it was this car that needed to be fixed. Let's just turn that back down to, it was 63, yeah? I think so. So I'll turn that back down to 63. I'm not sure I trust this 84% to be fair, but maybe do it down one more. I definitely don't trust the engineers though. Alright, we'll turn it down one more and hopefully it'll be better. Hopefully. I don't want to start on super soft, so I want to start on softs, thank you. We're going to race the whole race on softs because we're not that competitive. We're not that competitive that we need to burn through our tires, to be quite frank. So we will start off with a attacking strategy like usual, but we'll turn down from it again pretty quickly probably. Though we are front of the pack, so I'm not sure that we do need to attack to be fair, but we want some heat on the tires. Alright, same people as before, so let's go on. Let's have a race and lose. Haven't really decided what I'm going to talk about this time. We started talking about Coco the Gorilla last time of all things, so maybe there'll be a point when I start talking about something crazy again. But we haven't got that yet. Oops. Chew went way wide. Way wide. There we go. Way wide. It's pretty hard to say quickly actually. Way wide, way wide, way wide. Yeah. It's hard. Because you want to say way wide. Nick Chew went way wide. Poof. Okay. Anyway. So we've had a crash in every race so far, so hopefully we have a crash in this race as well, and it's not one of our drivers, before any of you smart buggers say it'd be great if it's one of your drivers. So yeah, somebody else crashing, that'd be good news for us. Though to be honest, I'd take a crash from us as well. Let's make sure we're fully zoomed as well. Oops. Yes we are. Crazy is good. Smoke. Yeah, I know crazy is good. I'm not complaining about being crazy, but I don't know. I actually took a painkiller earlier as well, and it's helped a hell of a lot with the day issues. So I'm probably gonna take a painkiller before I go to sleep, and hopefully it will let me sleep tonight because I haven't slept properly in about 5 days now since I've had the problems. So I hope so. But even when I lay down with the painkiller in effect, it was still quite uncomfortable, to be fair, so I don't know, we'll see. The only thing that's changed since that period actually is that I took the painkiller and I've been teaching, so, you know, one part of the pain is dissipated and one part of the pain was exaggerated. The part where people ask me questions and I have to explain things. No, I'm actually quite happy with my job. I enjoy my job, to be fair. Mostly. Yeah, most days with most students I enjoy my job, sure. It has its moments, but overall, it's all good. I mean, I could talk about the crazy things that happen in Russia. Like, for example, I need, there's a patent system in Russia whenever, do I want to say this? Yeah, I suppose I do want to say this. So whenever you do set up your own business like I have, I am technically a business in the eyes of the law, a self-run one-man business. You have to get a piece of paper that's called a patent, essentially, and which has nothing to do with the kind of patent that you have in American systems or British systems, for example. It's completely different. My patent should have been ready at the start of this week, and it wasn't. And when I was in the office, when it wasn't ready, they told me, you should call this number from our internal phone. And of course, none of the internal phones in the office were working. So I basically just have to go there next week and try again, which is how Russian offices tend to work. They're good fun. Same kind of thing with the immigration status, because I need to update my immigration status too, which I'm working on. But everything is really slow at the moment because of the restrictions from COVID responses. So before, you had to go to the office, go see the people, give them all the papers and say, I'm ready to go through the interview. And they'd look at all the papers and tell you, you are ready to go through the interview. And then they'd give you a interview slot. Now you do that online and nobody checks to make sure that you're ready. So I don't know if that's better or worse, to be honest. I guess we'll see. I don't know. Things should work out fine. Russian bureaucracy is a special kind of bureaucratic, though. That's all I can say about it. In the Czech Republic, it wasn't nearly this bad, though the Czech Republic had a lot of red tape too. In terms of race as well, Gomez is right at the back, and he really is right at the back. He's way behind 19th place already. But Faith Anthony is still doing her best to keep up the fight in the middle. She's roughly holding on to 10. By roughly, I mean she's being rough about it. I don't mean that she's kind of 10th. But she is that as well, to be fair. And now she's 11th. And now she's 12th. It's almost like I shouldn't have spoken about it. 14th, 15th, 16th. There we go. Oh no, she's still fighting. Alright, well, we'll give her all the support. All the support she kind of deserves. Same strategy as the last 3 laps as well, 3 races as well. We're mostly trying to focus on basically out-pitting. And I think we're going to do fast pitting all the time, because the worst I've had from trying to do a fast pit so far is I lost a second and something, and the fast pit itself shaves off 3 seconds from the pit. So even if I have a bad pit, unless I catch fire or something, but Kobe's not driving, so we're fine, it should work out. I think it should work out in our favour every time. We can still, in theory, survive 6 laps, but I don't think our tyres are going to last that long. So I mostly just want to pit when everybody has finished pitting. I want to be one of the last cars to do so. Because if we can hold on to our sponsor target, actually that's an extra 200,000, which can really help us out with our hole in our financial bucket where money keeps falling out of, basically. And if we get that 3 or 4 times, we can justify making another engine, essentially. Yeah, we can if we don't as well, I suppose, but I don't like the justification quite as much in that scenario. So, 24 laps remaining, and it was 12 laps of fuel, was it? Or was it 14 laps of fuel? I don't know. I think we do have to pit 3 times. I don't think we have much of a choice, but if we can somehow survive with 2 pits with at least 1 driver, maybe we'll stay in a pretty solid position. Or if everybody crashes, that works too. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to put the shoutouts for the stream actually, but never mind. I suppose I could do it after this, but I don't know. I may put some shoutouts after this race. Because I don't do it on Tuesday for the ICBBL stuff, because that's specific to the ICBBL, but I do try to remember to do it for all of the other streams that I do. So I don't know. I'm not sure how worth it is as well, to be honest, though. Fen, 9th place. I mean, we're looking good, but everybody who Actually, no. In terms of our pit strategy, we're looking fine, and Faith is going to have to pit this turn because her tires are almost gone. 21 laps, and we go up to 13. Maybe we don't need 13. Maybe we need something like 10. 12? 11? Yeah, we'll go 11. Yeah, so the fast pit strategy shaves 3 seconds off the overall pit, so we're definitely fast pitting with this team, I think. I actually forgot to check the pit guys before I started this race, which was a really bad idea, so there's probably going to be a lot of mistakes today. I just didn't think about it, to be honest, though. And let's get you back on a attack strategy, just so you can get in there with a little bit of time. But these guys are going to have to pit again relatively soon, to be fair. Everybody who is at least between 6 and 13. 6 and 12. 13 is okay. But everyone between 6 and 12, they're going to have to pit again soon. So we're probably doing well with this. Though probably killing her tires wasn't the best idea I've ever had. Yeah, I know. You'll be fine. Nothing can go wrong. I do like that line that the drivers give. I'm going through these tires like a fat guy through hot dogs. It's slightly fat-shamey, but bearing in mind that this was 5 years ago, that was probably an acceptable joke back then. $5 years ago? 6 years ago? What year is it? 2022. Yeah, 6 years ago. 6 years ago this game came out. I think it was 2016 anyway. Right, Gomez needs to pit as well. And we'll also add 9. No, we'll add 10 laps. Yeah, we'll add 10 laps. Anthony comes out in 19th though, but there's lots of people who have to pit really soon already. So the only real problem is the first place driver who hasn't pit at all yet. So she might actually manage a 2-pit race because her car can probably handle it. Ours can't, realistically. We don't have the fuel stability, and we don't have the correct wear on tires, basically. The other thing that the drivers always say is, well, they swear a lot, and they actually censor out the swearing, which is kind of funny, to be honest. Where it says censored by GMA. I don't know what GMA stands for exactly, but there was a mistake, and it ended up at the same speed as a normal pit. So I think sticking with the fast pit is a risk worth taking at this stage, just to give us an extra between 6 and 9 seconds every race, which is, you know, a lot. I think you can ease off a little bit now. Jonsdottir is finally pitted, and yeah, some of the other guys are already pitting behind, so maybe we can make up some time here. I guess they're going to all go back out on yellows though, because going back out on reds wouldn't make a lot of sense at this stage. Softs as opposed to super softs. Well, we didn't make up any spaces, but we did make up some time. So I don't know if that works out in our favor, to be fair. I guess we'll see. I said we need to pit 3 times. We don't need to pit 3 times, we need to pit twice. I think I can get away with a 2-pit game. Maybe. I think I can with Anthony. I don't know if I can with Gomez. I guess we'll see. Which is weird, because I put Gomez in first. I could have filled up and gone with a 2-pit game. Yeah. I don't know. We'll stay out as long as we can, basically. Oy. One thing I've never thought about actually is the I'm really not a driving fan. I'm playing a driving game right now, but I don't know much about it. Is the... I don't think it is, but is the real world F1 a mixed gender race? The women race are men? Or are there just not that many women races? At least not that many famous women races. Because basically everybody who I can think of who's a big face of the sport, they're all male. I can't think of a single female off the top of my head, but I'm not a fan of the sport, so maybe somebody who knows a bit more, they can tell me. Not sure actually, yeah. I do like this aspect of the game, that you can have male and female drivers, male and female mechanics, etc. I think too many games are afraid to have a male and female thing, and it should be pretty standard by this stage, to be honest. So, I don't know. It's one of the major flaws I find in Blood Bowl, actually, that well, Games Workshop in general. There's a distinct lack of female warriors or Blood Bowl players or anything like this in the tabletop itself. Though some games have addressed this, the majority still refuse to, and Blood Bowl 2 was one of the worst for this. They actually changed a model that is usually female into male, which was a pretty big misstep, and the sex noises from the Amazons, yeah, just it wasn't very well done, and I hope they address that in Blood Bowl 3, to be honest. But they were afraid to talk about this topic during the beta, so hard to say. But no, that's interesting. I really have no idea if there's a female and a male league in driving. I think there are just no female drivers in F1, but it is allowed. Yeah, it's possible. Or maybe it's maybe it is like the game portrays it, where there are more females in the lower stages. So at the highest level, it's mostly male dominated, but maybe there are females who are in the races, they're just not at the top. That's also possible. Well, the other option is I'm completely wrong, and there's actually a female I have no idea about. There have been a total of 5 female F1 drivers, the last one in 1992. Okay, so it is actually a mixed gender race then. Interesting. I don't know if men inherently have an advantage in an F1 car, because it is a very physical thing driving one of these cars, and people don't realize it. The people do actually have to be athletes, because there's a lot of there's a lot of things you have to do requiring fitness to drive this kind of car. And if you're in better shape, you're going to drive it better. It's kind of like flying a plane. You've actually got to be in pretty good shape to fly a plane as well. At least a really technically advanced plane, not necessarily a Cessna or something, but for a Boeing, yeah, you need to be in pretty good shape. I think they do, don't quote me on that though. I'm not quoting you. I mean, I'm reading what you're saying out loud, but, you know, I'm not saying Dead Shores said this at this time, and, you know, nothing like that. It's mostly just a point of intrigue, because never thought about it until, obviously, started playing this game. And like I say, I'm not entirely sure there's much difference between being a male and a female pilot in this kind of sport. I guess not. Need to pit again though. Alright, how long we got left? We got 13 laps. I mean, we can do a standardized driving and hope that the 13 laps worth of fuel actually lasts 13 laps, but it's a bit of a risk. We're not likely to need to fix anything, so we're gonna risk a... I suppose I could let it go around one more time, so then we definitely have enough fuel. She's gonna struggle with the tires though on this lap. No, I'm gonna risk going in, and we can always conserve if necessary. And then Gomez can hopefully do 2 more, but at least 1 more. and we'll go for a 2-pit race, because that'll give us at least 12 seconds that we wouldn't otherwise have. So Anthony basically just has to drive the car normally until the end of the race and hope that everything's fine. It says she has excess fuel, but she doesn't really. So we're going to leave everything on standard for her. And we're going to do 2 laps for Gomez, because Dreyfus, for example, has already done 3 pits, and she is way behind now. So I don't know. We got if we can manage a 2-pit from both cars, we actually have a good chance of meeting our sponsor goal in this race. Because 12 seconds really is a lot, as you can see. I mean, we're 32 behind the leader, but we're 13-14 behind the middle pack, basically. So, yeah, 12 seconds is a really, really big advantage here. The tyres are going to be a bigger problem, I think, for both drivers. This is going to be 11 laps. I'm going to give Gomez a full tank, though, just because. There is obviously strategy involved in not filling up the tank as well. You've got a slightly better chance of getting more speed out of the car, because it will be lighter naturally with less fuel. But we're going for marathon style racing, not for sprint style racing. So hopefully it'll work out fine. So 11 laps left and 11.7 fuel. So yeah, we should be able to take a lap or two pretty quickly as well at the end. On crappy tyres though, probably. That's the biggest problem. Didn't check the weather, that would have been a good idea, because if it starts raining we're in trouble. No, we're good. We're good, we're good. So we got another car pitting here for a 3rd time, which hopefully we'll end up in front of with both cars. And Dreyfus probably isn't going to pit again. Having said that though, she probably has to, because she still has 10 laps to go on these tyres. So no, I think we're looking pretty good. I think we're actually doing better in this race than we have been doing before. I know that we're 17th and 18th now, but if you consider that 1st to 13 all have to pit at least once more, I think we're doing pretty well. Assuming that we actually managed to survive without pitting as well. You can stay with the back of Dreyfus, not a problem, she'll have to pit again. Let's try and take over Dembella, because Dembella is actually the one in front of us, I think. Yeah, Dreyfus has come back in, it's good. Get Dembella as well? No, stuck behind Dembella. Wait, what? There's 2 cars there? Wait. There are 2 cars here. Okay. Rogers we should be able to get past. Dembella is a little bit more difficult to beat though. Slightly better team. Not last, that's the important part. It is actually, and not last even without a crash, which is also quite good. So Anthony is actually doing pretty well in 16th, because she has the chance to. She still has the chance to make up some more spots if she manages to survive the entire race. We are losing time on quite a lot of people though. I mean, we can catch up with 11th realistically. Oh no, we can't, because they pitted. Sorry, we can catch up with 13th very realistically, so we can get into sponsor position. But there are some more guys on our ass, obviously. So we gotta hope that the other guys have to pit a bit more than we do, basically. And Beauchamp has 54 seconds on us despite pitting 3 times, so you know, there's some things that are just impossible for this team at the moment. But overall I'm okay with this race so far. The only problem is that I really have to focus on I really have to focus on how much fuel we have in the last couple of laps, because we're going to have to speed up to keep Dembele behind us. Rogers I'm not too worried about, but Dembele, yeah, she can cause us problems. It's getting a little bit laggy as well. No real reason for it, so hopefully it won't last long. What happened to Gomez? He's fallen well back again. This driver is crap. He's driving actually at a very good rate, but he can't keep up with the guys in front. I know that the cars are much better, but still. There shouldn't be this much of a gap. Anthony's car is actually worse than his, but she's managing to hold her own, so that tells you how bad Gomez is, basically. And he's supposed to be our #1 driver. I don't think I'm going to replace the drivers though until the end of the season, and I may end up keeping one of them. Not sure who yet, but I'd like to pick up a couple of pay drivers, because these people are drivers who are looking for experience, and they actually pay you to drive your car, so you still end up paying them a wage, but they pay you a certain amount back as well if you actually use them in a race. So if I could pick up a couple of pay drivers, then basically we can work on our finances and catch up, because the catch up is all about money at the moment, because we're behind on the money factor. If you win races you make more money, obviously, but we're not winning any races at this stage, and we are up to 15th. We overtook Chu, with Anthony at least, but Gomez didn't quite catch him. 27, so 5 laps left. Oh dear, we got a problem with the front wing in Anthony's car, that's bad. Keep going for now, Anthony. You're doing okay. I don't want to have to pitch you. If I have to pitch you, then you're going to lose all of your momentum and all of your speed. Oh yeah, there's 5 laps for the leader. There's not. We've got 6 laps left actually, so we don't have excess fuel, despite it saying so. I mean, we will finish. No, actually, we might actually have to do the 6 laps. So yeah, we really don't have enough fuel in Anthony's car, so we're going to have to focus on keeping this down. And also, tires are already screwed. Anthony's really bad on the tires. I think Gomez is taking better care of the car, but he's just not as good a driver, and Anthony is just destroying the car every time she's driving. So I don't know. We got issues in this team for sure. But we'll try and survive. So 4 laps left for the leader. If the leader laps us, actually, that means we got excess fuel. So I kind of hope that we get the blue flag and the leader overtakes all of us. Which is not usually something you want to admit to, wanting to be lapped, but in this particular scenario, I think I want to be lapped, and you kind of need to conserve the tires. So stop destroying them, please. Because you need to make them last for 4 more laps. I keep saying turns. I feel like I'm playing Blood Bowl. Anthony, pass the ball. No, I haven't quite found the button for that one yet. It'd be pretty funny if somebody redeemed to make a pass or do a foul now, wouldn't it? Don't even know what to do in space of that. Don't do it if you're thinking about doing it as a meme. It'd be a waste. To be honest, I might need to update those, because I don't play Blood Bowl as much now, because I don't trust the CCL servers. I suppose I could just add a few more similar for the car. I suppose I could just add a few more things for games that I regularly play. But for this chill out stream, for the RPG, for the Dialot, it's going to be... They're going to be games that only last for a couple of episodes. I may keep doing this for a while, actually. At least 2 seasons, which will take me, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like 6 weeks. Obviously the RPG I'll finish it, but when it's finished we move on to a new game, and the same with the Dialot. In theory I'll finish, or it will completely lose, that's also an option. And again, that will be the end of that. Yeah, I know. You're gonna have to deal with the front wing, I'm afraid. Not much I could do about it. So Gomez definitely has a lot of fuel, so let's move into a more attacking style for Gomez, and hopefully he can pick up at least 18th, though. Yeah, we have tyre wear on Dembele, so maybe. And I can't risk it. I want to risk it, but I just can't risk it with Anthony. Or can I, actually? You've still got... okay, let's get a bit more out of the engine. Just try and keep Chu behind you. That's the main thing. But it's the final lap for Beauchamp. I've got 2 laps in theory, with a dodgy part and almost no tires. With the almost no tires, especially, we're gonna really struggle, because if they go down below 10, we're gonna lose a lot of ability in the car. So Beauchamp didn't do what I wanted, which was to overtake. And if only I could throw the car, that'd be pretty funny. Or if you could just press like a crash button. Yeah, Anthony's going to lose a couple of places here because of the tyre wear. And I'm actually going to have to stop pushing these just so we can get to the end of the race. That's a shame. It was going so well, but just can't do anything with a dodgy part and no tyres. So no, now we got the blue flag, so we can't even chase in this last turn. Thanks. But we're still not last. Where is 20th actually? 20th is still way behind, yeah? No, that's actually 20th, yeah? No, 20th is actually way behind. Okay, so we're at least beating 20. Well, Gomez overtook Anthony. There is that. Probably could have let him. I probably could have let Gomez through when I thought about it, but yeah, I don't like doing that. If they're gonna be racers, they should race even against each other. To be honest, whenever I use the let teammate through option, what tends to happen is they let their teammate and somebody else who's just behind them through. So you know, that sucked. Yeah, you kind of did. We do have better engines now, though. So if we can get both of the engines up and running, it may help. And I may risk building one more. So risk another 1 million. Because we've got 6 races left, yeah? 6 races left at 700 per race, and we got about 16 million. We do need to spend money on the car, though, for next season. Yeah, I think we can afford another engine. We can only afford one more. Because I guess getting better engines is more important than getting other things. So unfortunately we finished 17th and 18th because Dembele actually took a time penalty. Good. So we got 17th and 18th instead of 18th and 19th. Which, you know, is which could be worse. But we're still missing the sponsor objective, and I think we're going to keep missing the sponsor objective. We need a 16 or higher sponsor, which isn't a lot of money, but at least we have a chance of getting it. We actually caught up to Dembele a bit because we're 5 points behind now, and 8 for Anthony. But Gomez is not as far behind as he was for certain. Though our team is doomed. We're finishing 10th for certain. We can't even catch ZRT, CRT, I'm not sure where they're from. Yeah, okay. So we got past the 2 fast ones though, and the fast ones are obviously the worst for us. AJDS Demons are the coolest team in European Racing Series. There's no denying it, if you say so. And Mustafa El Sadat, damn, felt like we could have won it. If you say so. I suppose you could have if you raced better earlier and, you know, not come deeper in the pack, you could have won it, yeah. I mean, theoretically, every team could have won it. We could have won it. The drivers actually drove quite well today, at least. And the biggest problem actually with this is that none of them are going to upgrade, which is kind of bad, because generally speaking, you want people who can at least get an extra star. So I may actually look at replacing the drivers even now, because they're going to finish last anyway. So I don't know. We'll give them 2 more races, I guess, and then we'll see if there's any option after that. So yeah, 16.4. So 1.5 million for another engine. He's built that one, but now he has to build one of his own. Engine was one of the best parts he could build, if I remember correctly, as well. So that's good.